What's up? Welcome to the AV Club podcast. Thank you for joining in. I've never said that before in an intro. Kind of felt weird rolling off the tongue. Anyways, today my guest is Ryan Suitt. Ryan is a friend of mine that I went to high school with. We haven't actually talked in probably, since high school. It's been a long time since we talked, but it was really cool catching up with this guy and hearing kind of about his life. The gap in our friendship is really what we talked about, like what he's gone through in between that amount of time when we had talked last. And so it was really cool catching up with this guy, and we picked up right where we left off. There's really never a dull moment with him. Super fun guy, super cool guy, and he's got some really cool stories to tell. So without further ado, Ryan Suitt, my boy Rhino, and we're rolling.
Awesome.
We've officially started
The AV podcast, the AV Joe Rogan podcast.
That's right, baby, the AV Club. So you were just saying you almost started one, or you tried to start one?
Yeah, dude. First off, thank you for having me. It's an absolute honor to be a guest on this pod.
Yeah,
so
bro.
Thank you. Fired up to be here.
I appreciate you coming, man. It's so cool to see you.
I was fired up to see you, but two, driving over here, I was like, man, like I'm about to talk to an audience. It feels like it was kind of like, all right, like it feels good. So
I like to think of it as talking to about like maybe my mom, my dad, and my brother. And that's it, because I don't think many other people listen. But
yeah, I was wondering, like, do you have like a group that you like have listening, or what, or like, are you like tracking numbers, or what's going on?
So I upload it to Apple and Spotify, and then of course YouTube. You could see all your analytics through there, and it's very basic for the Apple and Spotify. But it doesn't tell you specific people who watch or listen. But for the most part, it's like it just tells you broad general numbers, and then like female, male, hair color. I'm just kidding. But okay. It's cool, man. It's really interesting because I'm like, I don't want to get caught up in that, because that's not the reason I don't do it. So a lot of people will listen. Like I don't ask people like, hey, what do you guys want to hear me talk about? Because I'm having a guest on, and so it's kind of like if the guest has something to say, which they all do. Everybody does. Everybody has something to say. Mm-hmm. It's weird to just contain that to like, oh yeah, that's cool, you did this today. Okay, well, let's talk about this topic because it's what people want. You know what I mean? And it's like, I just want it to be as organic and natural as possible. So I don't ask anybody. I really hardly ever look. I've probably looked maybe 5 times. Yeah. And I guess it's a lot. I only have like 8 episodes, but like, it's not as much as you'd think. Like I'm not checking it every day. And it's like 5 times over the period of like, I think I started on January the 15th all the way to now. So like we're almost in April. And so it's like, in terms of episodes, I've looked like 5, almost every single episode, but I've only looked 5 times over the span of like 3 months. So like,
which is probably the best way to do it, bro, because it's going to take time to build, and one day you're going to look up and you're going to be like, oh my gosh, like, yeah, how many people just listen to my podcast?
Yeah, man, that would be really cool. But a lot of people, what's funny is that Taylor's mom, my girlfriend's mom, she always says that I have a good speaking voice. Yeah, she's like, you would be really good for radio, and I'm like,
I'm kind of auditioning.
Yeah, but
we'll see where it goes.
I'm like, yeah, but you see my face, right? Like, what about TV? And she's like, I'm more of a radio kind of guy.
Oh, so it's backhanded
I'm
compliment.
like, okay, I see it. How long have you been living in Austin, bro?
Bro, so after we graduated, came down June of 2019. So job started like 15th of July, actually, and we moved in June. So had a little bit of time to come in, get settled, that kind of thing, start to explore Austin, which, we're 2.5 hours north, so it's not like we didn't know Austin, but, came down here, had about 30 days, and got ready to go to work. So loving it ever since.
Yeah, you love it?
Dude, I love Austin.
Really?
Yeah.
No moving in the near future?
I tell people all the time that they're like, do you ever see yourself moving away? And I'm like, it's weird to say no at the age of 24.
Yeah.
You'd like to think you have a lot more places to explore and a lot more life ahead, right? But I'm like, especially in Texas, I don't see myself moving back to, maybe whenever I get a family or something like that, my mindset will change. And not that Austin isn't a good place for a family, in my opinion, but just that right now with what Austin offers and everything and the vibe, the feel, like I love it, dude, especially like compared to other places we've lived in Texas. I think it has the most to offer. So,
dude, I agree 100%. being from Granbury's kind of a small town, but it's not like super small.
Right.
The town I was born is tiny, like super small. Everybody in the town knows each other. And so visiting there in like the summers when I'm old enough to realize like, populations and like how big or small a city is, going back to Granbury and being like, oh, this isn't so bad. And then moving to Austin, it's like, I love it here too. I agree with you 100%. Like I'm not sure if a family would be the move here, like as of now, as a 24-year-old speaking, but I like that perspective because it's true. Like we could get job offers next year and be in like Idaho, like if it made sense for us. So that's cool. I like that you have that kind of level head on you, not like, oh, I'm here and only here for the rest of my life.
Nah, dude, I know that you can definitely, I've never been able to plan out what's going to happen 2 or 3 years down the line, much less, where I'm going to be for the rest of my life. And a couple weeks ago, if you'd asked me, what I'm going to be doing in April, it certainly would have been in Austin. But with Marley taking that travel nursing job in Oakland, like now we're headed there for 12 weeks.
Yeah.
So,
tell me about that. I didn't know that.
Yeah, dude. So I was telling Daniel downstairs, but she's been looking for these travel nursing assignments, right? And so, long story short, one popped up in Oakland, and now we're headed there for 12 weeks, come like August 20th-ish. Haven't really narrowed that down. I have a buddy who has a wedding on the 19th, and we're going to need to either leave that night or early that next morning. We'll see how that goes. But,
probably the next morning.
Yeah. We'll see how we're feeling. But long story short, got to make that 24-hour drive to Oakland, and we've already found our place there. We're going to Airbnb basically what they call an in-law suite.
Yeah.
Right? So we're staying in one of those pretty close to the hospital Marley will be working at, and I'll keep working at VMware remotely, and we're going to try to explore Oakland for 12 weeks.
That's awesome, man.
So
you'll is it every 12 weeks you'll go for 12 weeks at a time?
No, so they're really like it just depends on whenever she wants to take one, where they are, just the availability of the jobs, right? So the hospital here in Austin, they basically just allow for a 90-day leave of absence. Okay. And so we're going to take that 90 days, go to Oakland, and she's already worked that out to where when she comes back, she'll have her job, and we have it's crazy wedding season right now. I think we have 6 more weddings to go to this year, and
what
I have 2 more bachelor parties at least.
Dang.
If not my own. So got a lot going on, and a lot of traveling we have to do for the wedding. So I think we're gonna definitely come back after Oakland and at least settle down for the rest of the year here, and then see what happens in 2022. So,
dude, that's awesome, man.
Yeah, it's fun.
Have you ever spent like a prolonged period? Well, I guess not prolonged period. Like, have you spent time in LA or California at all?
Yeah. Whenever Mason was actually touring colleges, we drove all down like Highway 1. Did that whole experience going from, we started at Stanford, Palo Alto, and then we drove down and did the whole UCLA, USC tour and Pepperdine, all that kind of stuff.
Dang.
And so that was a pretty big trip, and that was probably my second or third time going to LA. We had Matt Golba. Long story short, he has a granddad who has a yacht out in Marina Del Rey, California, and so probably when we were playing a lot of Call of Duty, so it was probably 12, 13 years old. His granddad let our 2 families go out and stay on their boat out there, and so we got a whole week out there, and man, we love it.
That's crazy, dude.
Don't know if I'd like to live in California full time.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know about all that, but
especially now. But yeah, that's cool, man. That's what the craziest thing is, that the whole story you just said, the thing that stuck out in my mind the most was Matt Golba as a grandparent with a yacht. What the heck? He's never told me that.
It's awesome. It's an awesome boat, and they were super nice letting us go out there. And of course, at the time, we're 12, 13, didn't realize that he had it either, but we went out there and had a great time. We actually, our parents, they're encouraging us to go explore, do all these, different things. And we're 12 and 13, and we're trying to stay on the yacht and play Call of Duty on the thing. So we did not want to come off. But I remember us having a blast playing Call of Duty, and me and Matt would go and sleep on the top deck at night, and that was a total blast. Awesome.
That's
experience.
Crazy, dude.
So, yeah, man.
On a yacht, that's insane, man. Well, that's awesome, dude. I can't believe that. That's cool. She's just trying to expand her horizons and kind of just see what else is out there.
Yeah, dude. She loves to travel. Big adventurous person, right?
Yeah.
So this is the first of many. Hopefully, we'll see.
That's so cool.
Like we said, we can't plan a year out, but
right? Especially
we'll see
now.
If we get to do it again.
That's so cool. So she could go literally anywhere.
Yeah. anywhere that a job's posted and that she would qualify for. Yeah. So she they were pretty competitive recently. For different reasons, for people trying to travel during COVID, trying to get out, and just people trying to take advantage of the extra pay, right? And so we'll see if they stay that way and what she can apply for and what she can attain moving forward. But I think we'll test it out with this experience and see how it goes.
Wow.
In Oakland.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
How has COVID affected you guys in that's no worries, they get stuck all the time. How has COVID affected you guys in Austin, man? Like, I know, like, so we're studios in Georgetown, which is about 30 minutes from Austin. You guys live in downtown, or you live like?
No, dude. So we're right off of 183, like just south of Cedar Park.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
that's a
we're
good
like
spot.
we're like northwest side, like the Anderson Mill area. If you know where that neighborhood is. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, man. It's about 20 minutes from downtown, and it's about 25 minutes from you. So I'm right in the middle.
That's crazy.
Yeah, man.
It seems like, I mean, traffic makes it a little longer. Like, 35 gets pretty crazy sometimes, but it's like a super easy drive. It's just literally a straight shot on 35. So I like being here, because it's like literally just like a stone's throw away from Austin.
Exactly. It's kind of like a Fort Worth and Granbury, honestly.
Yeah. Except
same
this
type
is
of distance.
This is an easier drive to me. Like a less like whenever
Straight
I would
access.
whenever I would go to Fort Worth, I'd be like, I guess like I don't want to really drive that way, but and this is just kind of easy. So
yeah, dude, I agree.
Yeah. So how did COVID affect you guys? Like,
dude, so we started off in March, working in the office, right? And pretty quick, everyone's looking up, like Indeed just, sent everyone home to work remote. Google sent everyone home to work remote. And we're like, oh, we next. And sure enough, within a couple weeks, they sent us to work from home for an extended period of time. They didn't know when. And that deadline has since been moved back, and it's now we're not even supposed to be or allowed to even go in the office until September or October of this year. What? So yeah, dude, I've been working at home ever since, and basically VMware ended their lease at the building we were working in, and they had one other building that they did own, and so basically they just made that a collaboration hub. And so like there's not like desk and that kind of stuff for you like there is if if a couple people want to go in, or a small number, but like we definitely can't outfit a full entire office like we were before. So basically it's, if you want that room, you're going to go in, you're going to rent it out, and you get some time to collab with your team, and you could take advantage of the office if you want. But man, COVID's totally made our entire company work remote. And
whoa.
Yeah. So
how do you like working from home?
I love it, honestly.
Yeah.
I love it. I mean, like, versus sitting in a cubicle or working in an office, it's great. Like, I'm with my dog all day, like freedom, like, you're pretty much setting your own schedule anyway. So man, I love it, so honestly. Cool. Trying to save by, making lunch at home, trying to avoid the Chick-fil-A. So,
dude, Chick-fil-A is so good.
I know. I keep them employed. Not that they need me, but if they ever did go under, I would keep them afloat.
Dude, they're so freaking good. Have you had the spicy chicken sandwich from there?
Yeah, dude. I love the spicy chicken sandwich, but honestly, I just get the number one, add pepper jack cheese, and I'm good to go. I can eat like 10.
Add pepper jack cheese.
That's all I need. How about you? How's it affected you?
Dude, so I lived in Marble Falls most of 2020. So we graduated college 2019 May.
Yep.
From June to the rest of the year 2019, I lived in Marble Falls, and all of 2020 up till September, I was in Marble Falls. And so it happened a little bit like, well, the whole 2020 was impacted. And so
a wash.
Yeah. But in Marble Falls, it's like they don't care as much. Obviously people wore masks and stuff was closed just because they had to, but like when stuff slowly started to open back up, like they were like, I don't care. So in Marble Falls, what I did was real estate photography. Mm-hmm. Worked at a marketing company. I did real estate photography. So I was traveling a bunch, going to people's houses, taking photos of like brand new construction, like multi-million-dollar houses, and even like the worst houses you could see or find, and like I was taking pictures of everything. And so it didn't really affect me there at all because I was working by myself primarily. I could get into these places and usually there wasn't anybody there. And if there was, it'd just be like, hey, you got to leave for like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And then moving here, it's like I wasn't doing that anymore. And so I've been kind of like freelancing, getting small gigs here and there.
Yeah.
And so it really hasn't affected me. I've worked from home for the most part. I just started
Wow.
like a part-time job making shirts, like legit like printing shirts.
Nice.
At the YMCA here. There's not a gym here.
Uh-huh.
It's like a YMCA like daycare / like they make shirts out of the shop. So I'm like in a sweatshop back there, dude. It's weird. This is like my second day literally today.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but it's super part-time and it's temporary because I'm trying to do something else, man. I don't want to.
You're gonna learn a skill right there. So whenever the podcast takes off, you're gonna have shirts to make. Photography business takes off. You're gonna know that entire process. So.
Yeah, dude. My boss is super cool, and I was like asking her. I was like, "Hey, like, what are the chances I could make a shirt or two for myself?" And she was like, "Oh, just let me know."
Wow.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool. So hopefully it's a skill that's like translatable into the
100%.
future. And yeah, because I know a guy down here. I had him on the podcast a couple weeks ago. His name is Jay. He's a graffiti artist, and I think before he started graffiti, or like kind of in the middle, before things started picking up for him, he would make his own shirts. And so we saw him doing that, and like he does that in graffiti. So I'm like, this dude, he does like crazy murals and stuff though. He's legit. Like he's legit.
Wow.
I'm sure you've seen like, I'm trying to think of a wall. Like there was a Kobe mural.
Yes.
You've seen it?
Driving down 183. It's like right on the curve, like kind of by P. Terry's.
Ooh, I don't know. I don't know if that's the one.
Okay. There's a big Kobe, and his daughter's name reminded me. Gigi, right? Yeah, Kobe and Gigi, and it's a pretty big mural. Total, like the whole background's yellow, like it's vibrant. It sticks
that's
out.
That's it.
It's cool. That's on 183, bro. I pass it every day.
Dude, that's crazy. Yeah, he did that one, and
that's awesome.
He does them all over, dude. He's done like Snoop Dogg, like I think he did Ice Cube, and like just random ones, but all over Austin. It's random. That's how we found him, was the Kobe mural.
Wow. We
hit him up, or Daniel hit him up, honestly, and then we just kind of became friends with him. So
like you saw his signature or whatever, and reached out to him.
Hit him up
like,
on IG.
Yo, what's up?
Wow. Instagram. Yeah, it was pretty wild, but yeah, it's just
awesome.
It's so cool because it's like it's I don't know. It's hard to explain. Like it's just a really cool skill that he's like doing, and he's providing a service to people like who walk by, and obviously like commemorated Kobe.
Yeah.
I know you're a huge Kobe fan, dude, right? Like boo, LeBron, boo.
I'm big team LeBron, bro. Yeah. I mean, like I was crushed whenever I heard that. A lot bigger than just debating who's a better basketball player at this point. I'm like, that was crazy. Like I remember exactly where I was.
You know? Me too.
Like I was taking Lincoln, my pup, for a hike. Like literally, I was pulling up to it, and I like opened up my phone, and like I checked Twitter, and it's just blowing up, and I'm like this has got to be fake. Got to be fake. Got to be fake.
First reaction for everybody is like it's got to be fake. Yeah. It's so weird, bro.
Crazy. That's crazy. Poor guy. I mean, it looks like the pilot just wasn't supposed to be flying and flew into the side of a mountain, bro. It's crazy.
That's sad.
Wild.
That is freaking wild. Dude, so I've never like talked to you about this before. Does that make you nervous when I say that?
Not really.
Okay,
I mean,
cool.
I was kind of thinking whenever we came into this, I was like, what is he gonna ask me? Because like my dad, because I talked to my dad on the way here. I'm like, I'm actually going to record a podcast with Aaron Viet, and he's like, man, that's awesome. Blah blah blah. Has he prepped you? I'm like, no, I'm actually going in blind. And he was
good,
like,
dude.
He was like, have fun. I'm like, thanks.
Has he prepped you?
But no, bro. Ask me anything.
That's what I like, dude. I like people to come in blind. So,
make it raw.
Making it raw, dude. Just straight out of the gun. But, dude, so we went to high school together, just for people who happen to listen to this. We went to high school together in Granbury.
Yep.
And then was it senior year or junior year that you went to?
Right before senior year.
Right before senior year, you went to a private school.
Yep.
Called All Saints.
Yep.
Episcopal.
All Saints Episcopal. Yep.
Yeah. And so, dude, that's like the last time
yeah, it's been a while.
That's like the last time I've seen you really, like, I think maybe once or twice before then or in between, but dude, what was that experience like, and like what was the decision to make you go there? Because I've never asked you this before. I've been curious.
Man, the experience, that's a loaded question. To start off, leaving Granbury, it was terrible. It sucked, honestly. Like, how much I loved Granbury, and like how much I love my friends, and like just had such big aspirations for all of us, right? And so made some decisions after our junior year that I thought that if I wanted to get where I wanted to go in terms of going and playing college football, that it wasn't going to happen if I was going to stay at Granbury. And I could have been right, I could have been wrong, but actually had a friend named, and you know him, Blaze Moorhead.
Yeah.
Transferred to Fort Worth All Saints for his senior year too, and I kind of saw how he took off, and I saw what it did for him. And so, you know, talking to him and talking to a couple other people, it kind of just made me believe. And I went and vetted it out, and long story short, next thing I know, I ran into some coaches that were talking to us and when I say coaches, there were some college coaches that were talking to us at Granbury. And whenever college coaches go to recruit, they have a certain area, right? So anyone who's recruiting Granbury is going to also be recruiting in Fort Worth All Saints, right? And so I just ended up talking to a couple of those coaches, and it was kind of a weird deal because I just happened to be going to All Saints the same day that those coaches had came by and stopped at Granbury. And I talked to those coaches, and long story short, I don't want to share everything, but he pretty much was just like, dude, like, you know, like, there's a reason why we're here. Like, we trust Coach Beck. And long story short, it just came together, and we, as a family, made the decision. And it was honestly totally me. Like, some people think that it was my parents who pushed me, but like, they would have never brought it up if I wasn't trying to get where I was going and wasn't, you know, kind of like sensing that I was going to need help to get where I wanted to go.
Right.
And so they basically just supported me in it. And my dad went and he talked to the coach first, and he was totally blown away and impressed by him. And so basically went up there and tried out. And I say tried out. There was a guy named Kevin Murray. It was Kyler's dad at the time. He was All Saints QB coach.
Wow. And
not working for the school, just training their QBs privately. But basically I signed up to go do a private training lesson with him, not knowing that it was going to be a tryout, and like all the All Saints coaches were there, and it went well. And basically I spent some time with those coaches and got to know them, and was all about it, and believed that if I went there, it was going to get me to where I wanted to go. So made that decision to go, and there was a lot of, you know, issues that came up with it, and a lot of sadness leaving Granbury. But looking back on it today, man, it was the greatest decision I could have ever made for myself. Like, I'm so glad I did it. People I met, the opportunities I feel like I gave myself, and just the opportunity to, you know, see where you could go with, you know, just putting yourself in a different environment than what other people had done graduating from Granbury. Like, we had some talented kids come through, and that I thought that, you know, definitely should have gone to the next level, and for whatever reason, it didn't happen. And so it just kind of led me in a different direction.
Yeah, dude, that's honestly super, like, admirable. I respect it a lot because obviously you kind of understand that a little bit at the time, but that's not what's going through your head as like a kid that's in the same age that's like your friend. And like, not to bring it back to like the high school days, but it's cool, bro. It's like knowing like where your mind was at that time, being so young, it's like that's super respectful. And if people don't respect that to this day, then there's something wrong with them. But
yeah, I mean, it's you know, like I said, I'm glad I did it, but like, if I could go back and change the way I handled it, there would be a lot of things that I would definitely do differently.
Yeah.
So,
like what?
I mean, like, whenever just breaking the news to my friends was hard. Like, you know, like, how do you do that? You know, it's, you know, you grow up playing with a certain group of friends at the age of 4, and you make it to the high school level, and all of a sudden you start having success. Like we were good our junior year. Like, we had a lot of success, and it felt good to be doing it with the guys that you'd worked so hard and built up so long for it, right? And you know, just to, you know, try to have those conversations with certain people, it was tough, and some that I didn't even have a conversation with that I wish I would have. And but you know, looking back at the age of, what was I, 16, 17, I'm like, you know, Ryan, you didn't handle that with the utmost maturity. But I'm like, I don't know, you know, at 16 or 17, how I would have done, and how other 16 or 17-year-olds would have perceived that in a way that, you know, it would have went well. And so it is what it is, but it was tough. But in the end, looking back on it now, I'm very thankful to have had the opportunity to go to All Saints, to, you know, graduated from there, play with those people, love them. They were awesome. So
see, like, as a young high schooler, you don't understand, like, you don't understand it until, like, you're looking back. But like, you have the perspective of two different high schools, two completely different friend groups that you are still probably really good friends with today, you know. And like, that's cool. It's really cool though that you did that for yourself, to better yourself for the sport, because you obviously loved it. You've loved ever since I've known you. I haven't known you as long as a lot of your other buddies that we graduated with, but like, like ever since I've met you, I've known that it's like, oh, this guy's all about it. Like this guy's all about football. So it's cool, bro.
He's a football dork. He's too obsessed.
Yeah,
right?
football dork. Used to walk around the school with the football and your pads on, man.
Probably something, bro. Something like that.
That's so cool, though, bro. I honestly had no idea. I've been wanting to ask you that. I've been dreaming about it, sleeping, and thinking about it. So that's cool, though. Dude. That's cool to hear because that's like not a lot of people do that. Only the people that really believe in themselves do that, or B, like parents are kind of crazy, you know, like
Amen.
And like
dude, yeah, like my parents took so much heat because of that, and I'm like, people really blame them, and like some people are like still not friends with my parents because of like the way that they think that my parents manipulate that situation. But I'm like, dude, that was me. Like I was the arrogant one who thought that like if I did this it would help me, and like and not even knowing at the time if it truly was, and you know just took a leap of faith and it worked out. But I'm like, I mean, like that was me. Like I wanted that for myself, you know. So
that's so cool. Which is unfortunate for your parents, but because like I mean, if you didn't know your parents, I knew your parents a little bit, and they bled that purple and gold. The
exactly. Dude. My mom still works there.
Yeah. That's weird to think that people would assume that, but I guess it makes sense. Like that, you know, people are selfish and people would like want you to stay. Obviously, first of all, because they know you're really good, right? They know you were gonna probably help the team, but also because they liked you.
And it was just like, dude, if I was in their position, like there were people that transferred away from us that I used to always think about. I'm like, man, if that guy hadn't transferred for this, Blaze is a great example, which I feel totally comfortable saying this. I'm like, if Blaze had stayed there, like, man, we would have been this and this and this. Like, you know, I don't support people who move off. Like, support your hometown. Like, I had those feelings, bro. Like, so I totally understood whenever my friends had them against me, and so that's what made it tough.
Yeah, that's wild, man.
Yeah,
I remember basketball whenever you were on the varsity, and I was only basketball. You were football and basketball, and Coach Brazil loved basketball players.
Yeah,
shout out to Coach Brazil, but. He
Coach Breezy.
He'll be listening to this, man. I know he is.
I hope he does.
Dude, he loved you guys, and I was like, oh, that's cool. They're like athletes, but at the same time, I was like, man, but I've been in this period and in these practice unis the whole time, man. Where's my spot? But I mean, it's funny looking back now because it's like, who cares? Like, who cares?
Dude, I feel you. I mean, Coach Brazil and us actually go back a deep ways, actually. So whenever we were in I could get the age wrong, but probably 4th, 5th grade, he was actually coaching our private teams, and whenever he was the head coach at Mineral Wells at the time.
Wow.
And so he was coaching on that team. It was, and I don't remember if the Broners were on it or not, Clay, Will, Mitchell, Nick, Jacob, but we were all going to skills training with Coach Brazil, and he was even coaching us on the weekends for our traveling tournament. And then he came to Granbury, and so it was just kind of like we just knew each other for so long.
That's crazy. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I knew that you guys had like practiced with him before. I didn't know that. That's cool though. That's cool.
He was awesome, man. I loved training with him. Like,
he's a good guy, bro.
Yeah,
he's
great golfer too.
Yeah, that's cool, bro. Now, one thing that I was super like kind of jealous about is that you got to go to Columbia University to play football. That's so cool. First of all, living in New York is like something I've wanted to experience, and I still want to. But what was that like for you moving over there just right after college, just like out of the blue? Like, what was that like, and how did your family react to it? And
talk about a leap of faith.
Yeah.
Talk about me making my own decisions too. If that was up to my mother, she would not have supported me going to New York. But no, I'm kidding. But I mean, dude, it was crazy at the time. Like, I remember telling my head coach at the time, he knew like the proper like athletic level that like I could actually go compete at. You know, like me being the arrogant kid I was like, I want to go play at Tech. I want to go play at Oklahoma State. Like, I want to throw the ball around the yard and let's go throw it 60 times like they do and try to outscore people. Like, that was really what I thought that I was going to do whenever I went to All Saints. And so, long story short, we had a Columbia coach in the office one day, and we hit it off, just talking ball, honestly. I remember he was a big Peyton Manning and Aaron Rodgers fan, and we were both kind of skeptical of giving Tom Brady too much praise, and so we kind of hit it off from that perspective. And then, man, he came out and watched practice, and everything just worked out from there. And so, long story short, that coach and the staff that recruited me ended up getting fired as I was like going there. And so whenever I got there, I had a completely different staff. And we did have 2 kids from All Saints that were already at Columbia, and Markham Palcoon and Charlie Flores. But I didn't know them personally.
Right.
And so literally, dude, it was, we got to the time where we were taking official visits, January or February of my senior year. And I was choosing between Columbia, Georgetown, and Colgate, which is like, Colgate was like an hour away from Syracuse, New York. So it was like upstate.
Oh,
like,
wow.
Like cold.
Yeah.
And so I took a visit to Columbia, and there were, I think, 6 of us on the trip. 4 of those guys I hit it off with, and we became best friends, and they're still my best friends to this day. And so after that trip, we literally spent 2 days together, and we were like, all right, like, we're doing this, like, we're coming. And we didn't know anyone at the time, but after we met each other, we were just so stoked to go and, absorb that experience and be a part of it that it didn't really matter. We sent it, bro, and the rest is history. It was great. Yeah.
What was it like living in New York as like a young adult?
Crazy. Expensive.
I
Expensive.
bet. Was there like, you lived in dorms? Is that?
So it's like, if you can imagine New York, bro, like you're walking up off the street, you're going to walk up into a little apartment, style complex. And, lived in a dorm my freshman year on campus, and then joined what we call our football fraternity at Columbia. Shout out Sigma Chi. But basically, long story short, a couple guys started Sigma Chi at Columbia, and it quickly became a football frat. And 95% of the house was all football guys. And so it basically became a place for us to retreat to. And outside of football, we had a place to, call home. It's where we, had our parties, where we had our hangouts, that kind of thing. And we had 20 or so guys actually in the house. And so my sophomore year, I lived in a different dorm, a little bit off campus. And then junior and senior year, I lived in what we call our frat house, and just lived with the football guys. And man, it was awesome. We were like, if you can imagine Manhattan, we were like in the middle on the upper west side of it. So like Central Park's like right in the middle.
Yeah.
Right? We were just up to the left of Central Park.
Wow.
So not like Times Square downtown, thank goodness. But, after you've been there enough, you're like, no, please, they keep me away from there. But, man, it was crazy. New York, the upstyle pace, everything going on there, it was really, really crazy for the first 2 years. Total blast. But junior, senior year, everything really calmed down. You start like coming into your own, like figuring out who you are, very solidified, like in your school, like you feel good about everything. And so you start to embrace like the city more, or at least like that was like our like friend group's experience. And so, yeah, dude, once junior and senior year came around, we felt like we just like had a huge playground. It was awesome.
That's so crazy, dude. Would you ever live there again?
Probably not live there, man, honestly.
Yeah.
No. I don't really have a desire to do that, especially with a dog. No.
Oh,
Got Lincoln, got to have a yard. So, but no, dude, if I didn't have a dog and had the opportunity, like I would, and like I could be happy there, but it's a different kind of lifestyle. It's it's a concrete jungle. Like I love Austin because of what it's going to offer us from a outdoors perspective, right? The lakes, the hikes, the everything that you have that you can do for free, right? And enjoy yourself. Get away from stuff. In New York, to get away, you go to a different bar on Thursday, Friday night. Right. You wake up, it's boozy brunch. It's like, man, it's like I'm
boozy brunch.
Yeah, it's like I'm constantly spending money. It's just going to different bars, and
boozy brunch.
I don't know. It catches up to you, and it feels old pretty quick. So
I
think getting outside of the city, in which if I live there now, like hopefully I could do that more. But at the time, like you don't have a lot of money, and you're stuck in New York, and there's just a limit to what you can do, and that limit consists of you being in that jungle trying to figure out which store, which bar you want to go to. So I like the freedom of being in Austin, being in Texas, being in like I have a new appreciation for the outdoors, that kind of thing.
Yeah. That's cool. That's what. So I've never been, and I don't know anybody that's lived there. I think I actually have a cousin that lives there now, but like distant. Don't talk too much to him. Yep. But I hear like on like podcasts, people who live there, they're like, yeah, it's super cool, and like they say it's the city to grind in, right? Because it's like people just have their heads down at all hours of the day, just doing their thing, and swarms of people at all times, and they're just working. They're just working, and like no matter if that's like 100%. Entertainment or like 9 to 5, it's like they're doing it every day consistently, and it's like nonstop.
Yeah, man, you're exactly right. Like people, they have a certain stigma for New York, and I mean for the most part it's semi accurate. But once you've been there and lived there, you kind of understand it more to where it's not like right. as like not like unappealing to you.
Yeah.
So like I feel like in New York, it's just it's high paced, man. It's a lot of finance, right? It's high paced. People are grinding. People are working long hours. They're trying to get from point A to point B, and people are just they're on their grind. And so if that's something that you want to be a part of, and that's the kind of lifestyle you want to choose, like it's perfect for you. But for me, man, I'm trying to watch ball, talk sports, hanging out. And it's just it was a little too high stakes feeling, honestly.
Yeah.
Like it's got the Wall Street vibe all through it. Like that culture is bled through it.
Yeah, that's wild. I've been to Chicago once. It's like the biggest city I've ever been to, and it's like you get like just being in a city with skyscrapers like that. Austin doesn't have the same feel, but like Chicago, I don't know if you've ever been, but like does it resemble New York to you at all?
So I haven't spent much time in Chicago, so I couldn't accurately answer it. But from like what Mason has communicated from the time he spent at Northwestern, it's a very similar vibe, but they're also very unique and very different. I feel like I really know New York.
Yeah.
I probably just know like the stigmas and stereotypes of Chicago, so it's probably not accurate.
Yeah.
But
okay, cool. I mean, I was only there for literally a weekend. It was like the furthest north I'd ever been, and it was cool because I'd never been in a city with like huge skyscrapers, and it was totally different for me.
A lot going on.
Texas boy, yeah.
Yeah.
I went the week after they had that record freeze.
Mm-hmm.
It was horrible. It was so cold.
Yeah. It's a different kind of cold there.
Yeah, it was free. Like I was wearing so many layers and gloves and beanies. It was so crazy, dude. I haven't experienced a cold like that.
No, I tell people all the time, like I would much rather be hot than I would be cold, like that kind of cold. Like,
yeah.
I'm definitely a beach, Texas, Arizona, Florida type person. Like I'm not gonna make it in the Midwest or Northeast.
There's not much sun there either, is there, in New York?
It's hard. It's gray a lot of the times. It's kind of gloomy, which I don't want to paint a negative light on New York. Like beautiful place. There's also great energy, but like buildings can block out the sun pretty quick, and all of a sudden you're working during the day. And it's getting dark at 4 p.m. and all you see during the day is you wake up when the sun's not up and you're going home when the sun's down. I mean, that was very, very common.
Wow.
So that kind of stuff was kind of, it's kind of taxing. You kind of lose energy there, and you kind of feel it, right? Like you're still going, nonstop, but the energy's not there. So
that's wild, man. Yeah. What was it like playing football in college? Because I know, like, obviously high school football is just way different, obviously, right? Any college sport is going to be way different, especially is it the D1 level, right?
D1 AA, so ACU, like FCS level.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
So what was that like, dude? Like,
dude, it was crazy.
Did you take steroids?
No, I didn't take steroids. I mean, look at me. Come on. I look like I took steroids.
Come on. You're huge, bro.
No, man. I didn't take steroids. I did walk in at like 165 pounds and walked out at like 198. And so like you gain a lot of weight, but it's also like required, right? Like I'm stepping on a scale every single day that I walked in there.
Oh, wow.
Like my coaches are like, hey, like, what do you weigh today? I might have like an extra like weight in my back pocket or something, drink a lot of water. But yeah, man, like they force us to gain weight quick, and especially me at that size. So,
right.
But man, it's a humbling experience. There's a lot of people that work really hard to go play that sport, and you get there and it's tough, man. Like you walk out and you have, especially walking out to a new staff, like I mentioned, like the whole new staff came in after the one that recruited me got fired.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, you're walking in, like you don't feel like you're their guy, right? Like, they didn't recruit you. You're just one that they're having to deal with, right?
Right.
So,
right.
Man, it was, first getting to walk in there, getting in a QB room, seeing what the other QBs looked like. And of course, as a freshman, you're arrogant as can be, right? And you think you're going to, tackle this, do that. And man, like the life lessons that I've learned just through that experience, not even just like being humbled by the amount of talent in college football. And like, we started out, my first year we were 2-8, second year we were 3-7, third year we were 8-2. And so, like, I feel like I got to see both like spectrums of it, right?
Yeah.
And so like even that 2-8 team, like that 2-8 team is probably just as talented or more than that 8-2 team. But it's just the way that you put together the team with your coaching staff. It's the way that everyone gels. Like there's so many things that go into it. Like there was just so many life lessons learned that I'll forever be thankful for. Just going in there and realizing what I didn't know, which was a lot.
Yeah.
So that was the coolest part.
That's wild, dude. That's so. Yeah. I can't even imagine. I know. I only had, not that I was like expected to me to have like a bunch of basketball offers, but I had one to an NAIA school in Oklahoma. And like going up there and doing the tryout, you get to see like what it's like, kind of not even the full experience, just like a tiny piece of that experience. But you're like, geez, like this is different. Yeah, it's so. I couldn't imagine with football, dude. That's a whole nother level because
it's a beast, bro.
That's crazy, man.
It was like we walked into a meeting. You know, you roll off the bus. So like we lived on 113th and Broadway, and we would take a bus up the West Side Highway on like the far west side of the island. And you would drive up to the top of Manhattan, and like our facility looked over like the Hudson River then, like into Jersey, wow. Right? And so you take that bus ride up, man. You get off the bus, you get into a meeting, and I mean it's high pressure, it's quick. They're like, hey, look, here's what we're installing today. Here's your 6 to 8 plays. Here's your different reads on these plays. The defense is going to be playing these 6 different coverages. Whenever we go out to this field, you're going to execute it live. Whoever executes it live is going to be our starter.
Holy crap.
And that's, that's not exactly how they say it, but that's what's going on. It's going to be like, listen, we're going to throw this information at you, and we're going to see who can process it the fastest, and whoever can do it live and the quickest versus other grown men with things flying around you, 300-pound monsters chasing you, you'll get to go play. And so, man, it was crazy.
That is crazy, bro. How did you end up doing? Like, cause I've only seen, I didn't keep up much, and like, I don't even know.
So I was a backup. I was third string my freshman year, and then through my sophomore and junior year, I backed up someone named Anders Hill. He was awesome, super super talented dude. And then my senior year, it was more of like we're going to invest in the younger guys. So I took a back seat. I'm like, I'm the senior, I'm coaching everyone. And not like I took a back seat on my own accord. Like it was like they wanted to invest in their own freshmen. And so I was kind of just done then. And so I really had 2 years, my sophomore and junior year, to really be a part of it. And where like I was the actual backup, and like we're going in every time. And I'm like, if his helmet flies off, we have to go in and play him. Right. So that was awesome. Got to start one game. Ended up starting one game my senior year whenever I thought I wasn't going to play at all. We played Yale, and it happened to be a what they call a northeastern storm. And so like there was like 65-mile-an-hour winds. It was like 33 degrees, like just above freezing, and it was like slanting rain. I'm like, oh man, like of course, like the one game I get to play is just terrible.
Yeah.
So we got to the third quarter in that game. We were tied up 10-10, and I was like rolling right, got like close to the sideline. It was a third down play, so I'm trying to extend it. And I basically like jumped to throw this pass before I hit this sideline. And this dude, we're playing Yale, he comes in, he clips my leg. It was totally legal on his part, but like he's flying, running at me, like trying to hit me before I throw it. He hits my leg. I flip upside down and hit the back of my head pretty hard, and my arms like just go stiff, and like I was knocked out for like like completely like gone. Like you can see Yale, like the players, they come up to me like in the video, because it happened on their sideline, and they're like like trying to talk shit to me, right? And like they like come over, and then like they see my like eyes, like I guess I was knocked out or something. Like they'll just throw their hands up to their head, like look at me, and they're like, oh gosh. And it's like they back away, and dude, I was knocked out. And cart came out, and
that sucks.
Long story short, I get up and I wobble, and I think I'm gonna jog back to the sideline. Like I'm telling them I'm fine, but like I'm just not there. And so long story short, we get carted off. I get back up in the locker room, and like my memory like isn't working. And so I'm like telling them like I'm fine, like I have to get out there like the next play, but like I'm telling them like stuff that it like isn't making sense to them.
Right.
And like every few seconds I'm like asking them the same questions. I'm like, what happened to me? Like I'm fine. Like what happened to me? I'm fine. Like I had no recollection.
Wow.
So long story short, about a 30 minutes, hour later, like calm down, like my emotions were just insane. Like I couldn't control my emotions.
Right.
And so like once I calmed down and like realized what happened, and like everything like came back to me, and like I was fine, and like I had like no repercussions after. Like I'm like totally fine since, no headaches. Really didn't even have that bad of headaches after.
Oh, that's good.
But yeah, dude, it was crazy.
Dang, bro. What game was it? Was it the last game of your senior year? Or was it like
that was it was probably the 7th game of our senior year, and we played 10 games. So I think we had 3 after that.
Yeah.
And I was gonna get to go play the rest of those games too. And then as soon as that happened, I was like, man, yeah.
Happened for a reason, though, I guess, right?
It sucked, bro. Yeah, I guess, man.
Yeah.
It was tough.
That is tough, man. That's a bummer, dude.
Yeah. We won though. We came out on top.
So let's go.
We beat Yale, baby.
Was that the game you did you throw a touchdown in that game?
Yeah.
I saw that
3-1.
actually.
Yeah, I was like 2 for 15 passing, but we did throw a touchdown. So.
Dude,
it was not good, but we did pull it out, thankfully.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome, bro.
Yeah.
Not the concussion thing, but it's cool that you got to have that moment.
Honestly, it was dude. It felt good. It was all worth it.
Yeah,
man. Like I would do it all over again.
No regrets at all.
Moment. No, but even the concussion, I was like, man, that was kind of crazy. Like it's kind of crazy to know what that was like now. Honestly.
Yeah.
So,
dang, bro. I don't think I've ever experienced a concussion.
It's wild, dude. I mean, like I don't even know if you truly like experience it. Like obviously people have different reactions, but like I was out. Like I didn't
even know.
I didn't feel it, and then I didn't remember. And the next thing I knew I did remember, and I was just like, "Damn, it's all over!" Like it literally happened like that. Like I didn't even like get hit to the head. Like my head hit the ground, and like just like a weird chain of events. Like
man, that's crazy, bro. You know what's even crazier than that is that I think in middle school, long story short, you went to AMS, I went to GMS, and there's like Granbury, the town we're from, is split into 2 middle schools and like elementary schools all the way up until high school. You meet in the middle, and like both the sides of the town play on the same teams. Mm-hmm. And dude, I was the QB in 8th grade and 7th grade, bro. So you're lucky I stopped playing, or else you wouldn't you wouldn't have had
Thank you for giving me that moment.
You're welcome, dude. You can thank me for that,
dude. I do every day.
Every day. Thank you, Aaron.
That's why I'm here, man. I'm just trying to pay my dues.
Yeah, man. Well, you got a little more to pay, man. I'm not finished with you yet.
Keep working on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, it was a blast.
That's crazy, dude. That's so cool. I'm glad that you got to experience that. That makes me happy. Thanks, knowing dude. That, man.
Appreciate it.
Obviously not the concussion part, but that's cool, dude, because you work. I mean, that's a level that not a lot of people get to go to, even though you didn't probably get the results you wanted to at the end of the day.
Right.
Like nobody hardly ever gets to see that side of the football field and that side of competitive sports. So
yeah.
That's cool, dude.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And you went to a freaking Ivy League school, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Ivy League school in the Big Apple.
Yeah. It was a crazy experience, bro.
Who would have ever thought, who would have ever thought you would have been
not me
in that situation, dude?
Not me, dude.
That's so crazy.
That's why whenever we're talking about, trying to plan 2-3 years out, that's, to me, I'm like,
right.
A lot can happen in 2 years. I promise you that. So.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Do you ever see yourself like doing anything with football in the future?
So I recently, long story short,
fantasy football.
One of my exactly fantasy football coach. No. One of my best friends from All Saints. He also transferred into All Saints at the same time that I did.
Yeah. And
he also happened to be a quarterback, and so he was transferring in, thinking that. By the way, I need to get another one.
Yeah, they're right there. Yeah, bro. Got you.
Long story short, we ended up battling, and he was 2 years behind me, or a year behind me. Yeah, 1 year behind me. And so he took over after me, and he went on to have a very successful career. Like he's playing at La Tech now, like really good quarterback. But
what's his name?
Luke Anthony.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I've seen you tweet at him, but I don't know who it is.
So he was set to play. So he plays at La Tech now, and he was set to play Baylor early in the season, like week 4, and that game got canceled due to COVID. Why am I struggling with this? Dude, I'm gonna give this to you before I embarrass myself.
Okay.
Long story short, and I keep saying that and then proceed to tell long stories, but
Sorry, bro.
He was so we played at All Saints together, became best friends, and we really bonded because he was like one of the only guys that really loved the game like I did. Like I was obsessed at my level, and so we he chased a college opportunity and stuff, so we kept up through all that. And long story short, he was at Baylor. The game gets canceled, so they added another one at the end of the season to play TCU. And so I'm like, okay, like I was already coming to the Baylor game. Like, this may be your last game ever. Like, I'm coming, right? So I go to the game. 2 minutes left. He totally shatters his tibia and fibula. Like, they don't show the replay, and it's like dangling, bro. Like, it's bad. Like, they're handing him a phone to call his mom like immediately so she knows he's okay, because it's like. It's bad. And so, again, that puts him in, he has a place in Cabo, and he was hanging out there rehabbing instead of back at school rehabbing. And so he ran into a guy who is an investor in Pro Football Focus, and they're basically like a data analytics company. They grade like every play that a player makes in the football field, whether it's NCAA football or NFL, right? So I'd literally talked to Luke the night before. I'm like, man, I really want to, try to get involved. Like, I'm already missing football. Like, I'm not meant to just work a job every day and, watch Netflix and go to bed. Like, I want to be a part of, football in some way. Like, I've spent too much time on it. Like, I want to go to work for Pro Football Focus. And one of our quarterback trainers that we both trained with had worked from at the time. And so we had this conversation. We say that we want to get involved, and the next day he ran into an investor, and that guy was basically like, hey, like, what happened to your leg? Like, it's got a big cast on it, right? Like, what happened? And he tells him he plays football, and he goes, oh, I invest in PFF, blah, blah, blah. And my buddy, who at the time, which I'm thankful that I became best friends with him and developed a relationship enough that he would even bring me up in this situation. But he's like, I've got a friend who's actually trying to go to work for Pro Football Focus. Could you help him? And so the guy says yes. He basically sends me his email address. I contact him. And within like 10 days, he set us up, and we had an interview with the CEO, had an interview with their QB coach, and like we got to break down film together and that kind of stuff. And now, long story short, I actually started training there this week, so I'm doing that on the side as well. So
what?
Yeah, we'll see how that goes, but dude, I'm pumped about it.
That is so cool, man.
Yeah,
so what does that consist of? Like, you literally just watch film? Is that you watch film, you give the players and individual players a grade, or is it like by like a team?
So like, imagine like they have a system of how they grade players, and it's a lot. Like, they sent me like the whole training guide, and it's like 100 pages that I'm having to learn, and like basically learning how to chart these grades, right?
Yeah.
And so like that's like the basis, the foundation of PFF, and so that's where I'm training. That's where I'm getting caught up, trying to understand the lingo. And then once football season rolls around, I'll probably break down college tape to begin with, and I'm gonna try to focus on quarterbacks, and we'll see where it goes within the company. But like, I hope to one day be like making mock drafts, studying the draft, and
dude,
we'll see where it goes. But
dude, congratulations on that, man.
Thanks,
that's awesome.
It. I'm excited.
That's so cool, bro.
Appreciate it.
You get to freaking live the dream again.
I guess it's gonna be a lot of work. Like, I know their QB analyst would like get the tape for like the Sunday games at like 6 p.m. and then he'd be like grading them until like 4 or 5 in the morning the next day. Yeah. So we're gonna have to figure that out once football season comes, and I'm still working my software job, but it's like, we'll figure it out, man. I want to make it happen, so I'm excited.
Well, that's the key, right? Like, you find something you love, and then you're just gonna hit it hard. That's just exactly just like you did with football. Like, anything to do with it at this point, you're willing to. Because like, what, you work 9 to 5 typically? Is that what you do?
Yeah, something like that.
And you don't like it? I mean,
no, I like it. Like, the company's great.
Right. The idea of a 9 to 5 and the idea of doing the same thing over and over is what you don't like.
I think that I can compartmentalize it, right? Like, you have your job, and then, I consider PFF like my side hustle for now, right? So it's just something that I'm doing as a second job, second option, and I'm gonna be doing something that I love, right? Now, by watching a football to begin with anyway, that I might as well be doing something productive with it and try to get paid for it, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like,
no, that's exactly how I feel. That's how I feel about this. Dude, I listen to podcasts all the time. Dude, that's so cool though.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
That's so cool, bro.
Yeah.
You said you're working out with Josh Yarbrough these days?
Josh Yarbrough.
Shout out to Josh.
Josh Yarbrough. Yes.
Man.
Yeah, what a monster he is, bro.
He
Have you
is
seen
a
him
monster,
lately?
bro. Yeah.
Golly, dude.
Dude, you know he got all his workouts from me, right?
He did? No. Dude, he wouldn't tell me, but no, he's a beast, bro. Hard worker.
He's a savage, bro. Random.
Yeah. Dude,
I saw him one time. He had the skinniest arms, and he was known for being fast. And
yeah, you hear that, Josh? You got skinny arms, son.
And he still does. It's not even. That's all I was gonna say.
Yeah.
But now he's okay. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. He's improved a little. He's still got a long way to go.
Yeah.
Probably should stop skipping leg day as much as he does, but no, dude, he's a beast. Speaking of legs, that dude, like, I don't even want to do leg days with him. Like, he's on a completely different level. Like, he's one of those guys, you walk in the gym, you see someone on the leg press, and the entire thing is loaded up with 45s. It's like, all right, like,
take it easy, guy.
Yeah, that's
hey,
Josh.
Guy.
That's Josh.
Hey, are you competing or no? Then stop.
Yeah, he's a beast, bro.
Dude, what are y'all doing? Like, what are y'all like? I mean, you don't have to give away specifics, but
all
like
kinds, dude. I mean, I'll give it away. It's no secret.
It's
I'll
give it away.
It's we're going in. We're gonna try to focus on something each day. And back in college workouts, it's like even if we did upper body, we're gonna do some sort of upper or some sort of lower body too. Like you always had something to make it like I was never just working like one muscle group at a time.
Yeah.
But that's really what he does and what he focuses on. And dude, it's helped, honestly. Like, there's different ways of lifting, different ways of training, but
yeah,
his way definitely works for him. And I mean, it, come on, works for me a little bit.
It's working for you, yeah.
So,
see that?
No, I'm just kidding, dude. I got a lot of work to catch him. It sucks whenever we go to pick up weight. Not only is his weight much more, but like whenever he picks it up in the mirror, it's like, oh gosh, like I shouldn't be working out with this guy. It makes me look 10 times worse.
He's shorter than you though, so you got to give yourself a little credit.
Yeah, but it's okay. He makes up for it in mass. That dude is huge.
He's huge.
Yeah. So, and I should not be hyping you up like this, Josh,
I know, that's what I'm saying, bro. Josh, whatever, bro. Anyways, he's supposed to come on the podcast sometime, so
dude,
we'll talk about you on there.
Awesome. Hopefully he has some great weight training tips for me as well. So.
Yeah, he'll tell you on the podcast, so you have to listen, even though you work out together.
He's great though, bro. I'm glad he's moved here. It's been fun.
Yeah, dude. And he's doing geology.
So not only does he get up, go work out in the morning, but then he's going and working out and he's digging caves all day. And he's not just digging caves, right? So he basically, like, there's large plots of land, and he can definitely expand on this more than I can, but there will be large plots of land that they basically need to quote, right? They need to figure out they need to survey the land. They're trying to figure out, how much it's going to cost. They need to figure out what all's even on it, because it's such a large piece of land that it needs to be studied. And so Josh will go out there, and these geologists basically find these caves that you and me, like, we would never find going out there. But he digs them, and then they go down there, and he's totally mapping them out, drawing them. And if you look at his Instagram, they're deep caves where he's standing, looking up. And it's a pretty cool deal, bro. So he's working out there all day, and then heads home and does it again. Probably works out again, honestly.
That's so random that he does that, bro. But it's cool that because it seems like he really likes it. He went to school for that, and that's so crazy. Yeah, bro, he's jacked. He's doing. So you guys are doing more of like a bodybuilding style of workout, because
just trying to get stronger. Honestly.
Yeah, I've been looking into it like recently. I've been like over 2020. Me, Daniel, and then one of our buddies, Adrian, we signed up to run a marathon.
Okay.
Dumb, so dumb.
Wow.
No, it was cool, but it's obviously it's hard, right? But it's like, I'm not a runner. You've known me for a while, Rhino. I'm not a runner.
Right, I feel you.
I'm not a runner, and it's just tough. It's like mentally tough, and I feel like that was like the most I got out of it, like in terms of like gains and strength, is more so than my body, but my mental capacity to push myself through like horrible situations like that. I'm sure you've been to the Austin Trails by Lady Bird Lake.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we used to run that. One lap, the big lap, is 10 miles.
Okay.
And we would run that like the most I ran is 20 miles. I didn't actually do the marathon because it got canceled, obviously, due to COVID. But
oh man,
it was supposed to be in San Antonio. But so 2020, I just basically ran. Like, I didn't lift any weights. Like the first 3 months of the year I did, but then after that, like, no weights at all, and then strictly running. And so I lost like a lot of muscle mass.
Yep.
Lost some weight, and then ever since honestly like November of last year, 2020, I've been like trying to put on that muscle back, and so it's working in like a little bit, like slowly but surely I'm gaining the muscle I lost. And like bodybuilding workouts is what I was doing, but since I was kind of like behind, I needed to hit like the muscle groups twice a day, essentially. And so now I'm doing like push days, pull days, and leg days instead of like buys and then back and then legs. You know, I'm hitting more at once, giving me the opportunity to do it multiple times a week. Yeah. And so that's like kind of what I'm doing right now. But
yeah, dude, I feel like, you know, everyone has a different formula. I feel like, you know, especially over the years training so much, we've encountered so many different methods. And honestly, like whether one works more than the other, I don't know. But like, you know, go to work, pick up the weight, you know, you'll get bigger and you'll get stronger.
Push it hard. Yeah.
So
I agree, dude.
That's kind of what I just do with Josh. You know, I kind of let him take the reins, and I say he definitely just takes the reins, you know, but he, you know, as I should let him drive that ship. But dude, we'll walk in and do legs, and it's going to be 7 to 9 exercises of, you know, we're going to take like, whether it's dumbbells, kettlebells, and we're going to stick a 25-pound plate under our calves, and we're going to start off squatting that, and then we're going to go like actually squat, and then we're going to go to leg press, and then we're going to go do, you know, ham curls, quad curls, calves, like
everything.
It's a full hour 45, and I'm like, Josh, dude, I am dead, like, you know. But man, he's a beast, and
he works hard, man.
It's great for me because not only does he push me, but it's like, man, like you have someone like that just to, you know, set the tone. Like my workouts are so much better whenever I work out with him versus
by yourself.
Yeah. Like you miss the whole team environment, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely, bro. It's hard. I work out by myself here, and it's just tough, dude. Luckily, I have like actual weights and stuff, but if I didn't, because I used to have only a kettlebell, 35-pound kettlebell.
A lot you can do with that, though.
There is a lot you can do with it, but it gets old, and like if you don't have people to work out with, it's just boring after a while, and then like, you know, you kind of get stuck doing the same things, and then it's just the whole thing. But
podcasts, kettlebells, you were literally the next Joe Rogan.
Dude, that's what I'm saying, dude. I'm gonna shave my head. Dude, I'm actually doing the opposite. No, bro, no way.
You can't with that hair.
No, not yet, dude. Not until it starts going away.
Is it gonna go away? You have thick hair, bro.
Yeah, I don't know. Probably not. Hopefully not. You know.
Yeah, you're not losing hair.
Knock on wood.
Yeah, I see it. You know.
Yeah.
You're good. But
dude, what are you doing in Austin for fun? I hardly go to Austin, like just for rough. Like I don't know.
Dude, there's endless things to do. Whether you're at, you know, West 6th or Rainy, like love those areas. You can go spend a lot of time and a lot of money there. But you know, the whole green belt, man, like especially taking the dog out, wearing the green belt out, especially like whenever it's rained and, you know, like the waterfalls are going to be high and the water's going to be running, like I'll definitely take advantage of the green belts when we can. You know, I've got a dog, and I sit at home and I watch him, you know, just not do much all day. And so like every chance I get, dude, we go explore, try to do whatever we can. So wear that out. You know, I'd love to spend more time on the lake, honestly, but
yeah, gotta have a boat or something.
Gotta have a boat, man. So the few times that, you know, friends, you know, want to go do that, that's, you know, the first thing I'll jump on if I do have that opportunity. But anything downtown, man, is awesome. You know, you mentioned Lady Bird Lake, that's fun. You know, all the bar streets. I've got 3 friends from Columbia here, and 2 of them grew up here.
That's so cool.
Yeah, dude.
What are the odds of that?
Yeah, well, 2 of them, I guess there's 4 now. There's 2 from Lake Travis. They actually graduated from there, and then one went to Austin Bowie, and then one actually just moved here from New York. So
that's awesome.
Try to hang out with those guys, and then I have another group of friends that I met through. So Marley was down here first, right? And so basically she was meeting nurses, and they had boyfriends, right? And so whenever we went to hang out with them, became really good friends with those dudes. And so, you know, we've got a couple good friend groups that we can hang out with and stay busy, bro. Between projects, moving to Oakland, jobs, like, you know, feels like we never have, you know, too much time. So stay busy.
It feels like you guys are adults, right? Like real adults, real
Definitely,
adults.
Dude. It's like
weird, right?
It's almost like I'm like a suburban dad sometimes. I'm like, all right, Ryan, like, you know, you can relax. You don't have to grow up. So no,
that's awesome, bro.
I love Austin, bro. Like so much.
Yeah.
So much, especially if like there's live music or something. Like,
oh yeah.
I'll try to go to any concert that I can. Like, love that kind of stuff.
You big on comedy?
Dude, so New York was a total blast for comedy.
Oh, dude, yeah.
And now that Joe has his place, I'm like,
right here.
Yeah,
You're in it.
He's here. Like I'm all over it. So Marley, basically Dave Chappelle, he gets an IV before every show, and so his manager reached out to a group of Austin nurses whenever he moved here and started doing this thing at Stubbs through COVID, right?
Yeah.
And so, long story short, they got back to Marley and they asked her to go one night, and she got to give Dave Chappelle an IV and was like Ed Stubbs.
You're
like,
kidding me?
Yeah, the whole experience.
Were you able to go?
No, dude. I wasn't able to.
They didn't They didn't give her the opportunity.
There were separate shows that we could have, but then that night, Marley wasn't going. It just didn't work out for whatever reason.
Right.
But yeah, dude. Whenever she wants to volunteer to go do that, she can go give Dave Chappelle IVs.
Wow. How does that work? Did they pay? You probably don't. You might not know this, but do they pay the nurses directly, or do they pay the hospital, and the hospital just pays them as hours?
No, it's not through the hospital. They're basically just contracting people out. So.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
That's cool, bro. I hear all about. I listen. Obviously, you could tell by the setup. I listen to Joe Rogan all the time, and dude, I'm so deep into that world.
Yeah.
And so I've heard of it gets IV before the shows and after the shows. So it's crazy that Marley is the one that freaking did that. That's cool. Dude, I've slowly but surely made my way kind of into the comedy scene. You've always known me as kind of a goofball.
Are you trying to be a comedian?
Eventually, yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Dude, I would definitely go to your shows. As long as you don't pick on me. No. That did happen to me in New York.
It did?
Yeah, bro, it was bad.
Who did it? Do you know?
I don't know her name. I don't want to know her name, but she roasted me, bro.
Really?
Roasted me.
Dude, they're ruthless. Comics are ruthless.
I was sitting in the front row. They don't let you choose your seat in there.
Yeah.
And so I walk in behind a crowd and of course, bro, I'm sitting right in front of her. I know it's coming the entire show.
Yeah.
I'm waiting on it. And, dude, she called on me and she asked me some stupid question and I paused and didn't answer. In that pause, it was
that was her moment,
dude. She just dove in and she just ate me alive. And so I'm bro, I'm never going back now. But it was honestly a lot of fun. But she did eat me alive.
Wow, that's so cool.
Yeah, it was fun.
That's cool, bro. There's a big comedy scene coming up in Austin. I had the CEO of this new comedy network called Big Laugh Comedy on.
Okay.
2 weeks ago. Last week, 2 weeks ago, something like that, and I was able to do a video for him. I made a promo video for him, and I got to see Joe Rogan. I got to see, who Ron White is?
Of course.
Ron White. I got to see
I love the Ron White episode on Joe Rogan.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, dude. I got to see those guys live, and I got to film them and make a video for this dude. And
so you met Joe?
I didn't get to meet him. No, he barely meets him. Joe comes with bodyguards. He comes with two jacked ex-military or retired military,
right? Probably
Navy SEALs or Green Berets or something. But
Marcus Luttrell,
yeah,
right.
He comes with, dude. They were jacked. They were so big. They look like bigger versions of him because he's pretty jacked. Yeah, because
Joe's
too.
pretty. Yeah, he's a rock.
Yeah, right. But it's so cool, dude. I'm so excited to be able to get into that, because now I'm we're kind of friends, not texting every day kind of friends, but
that's the name of the game, bro. Dude, it's just connections. The more people you meet, the more opportunity you'll have.
Yeah, so it's cool. I got to see some cool stuff. So
that's awesome. So what are you gonna do with it? Are you gonna,
dude? I'm gonna keep playing the game. I do. Video is kind of what's gonna make the money for now, hopefully, and then eventually comedy is gonna be a thing. So I turned 24 in June, literally the middle of June.
Okay.
And so.
Yeah, you're still young.
Yeah.
Okay.
The goal is to get on stage at least once before then. So, and that's just a self goal that I want to do.
You better let me know. Me and Josh will come.
Dude, no joke. I'm not telling anybody before I do it.
I don't blame you at all. If I was trying to be a comedian, I probably wouldn't tell anyone either.
Before the first time, I won't tell anybody. If it goes decent and I'm okay, I might tell people. But I want to kind of do this on my own and I
don't blame you.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't care. I don't care. It's just the fact that I want to do it. Maybe it's a pride thing or an ego thing, but I just want to do it on my. I don't want to do it because of I have people come in,
And you don't want to feel that pressure. You don't want that to affect you.
Yeah.
If you're in a room full of no one, and I don't mean no one, but a room full of no one, it's going to be easier than if someone's sitting there can talk to the people that you talk to, right?
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah, man. We'll see though. We'll see. But it was it's cool, man. It's cool to have that connection. That guys because He has this venue, like he's on 6th Street. He shares a venue with like, or he partners with the Vulcan Gas Company, which is just like it's really meant for EDM music, but like they have comedy shows there all the time, like literally every week.
And it's on West or Dirty?
On Dirty.
Okay.
Dirty 6, and it's cool, bro. It's cool. So like he's like, dude, come anytime you want. Like just let me know.
You should go live there. You should just go wait for the opportunity.
What I want to do is move closer, honestly, because Georgetown's kind of far. Like if I was like 15, even 20 minutes away, it'd be easier because then you could like, it'd be more. I mean, I don't want to use that as an excuse. Like if I really was like,
right. No, I get what you mean.
It's a little bit of nerves though, you know. But yeah, bro, that's the goal. That's the goal eventually.
Do it. Okay, so if you're gonna be a comedian, you have to tell me a joke.
No, I don't.
Okay. All right. I won't put too much pressure on it, but I had to try.
Yeah, don't do it, dude. Don't put pressure on me. This isn't the platform for a joke, anyways.
I know, especially if I test you for it. But like that's pretty much what that comedian did to me, bro. Like she put me on the spot, like in front of everyone. Like I was supposed to come up with a joke, and then like, because I didn't, she roasted me, which could have gone in my favor if I had killed it. But like she knew I wasn't gonna kill it. Right?
No, dude. No. Let me tell you something. The comedians, if you're getting asked when you're in the audience, it's never gonna go your way. That's the whole point. That's
which is why I like pause and hesitated. Which I'm like, because she asked me, because like I'm sitting at the table with Marley.
Yeah.
And so of course she asked me a question about mine and Marley's sexual relationship.
Oh yeah.
And so I like look at her and I'm like, you know, like I don't want to just, you know, I'm trying to like play it off, but also like, you know, like I don't have much to give her at this point. And so, you know, I'm sitting there, I'm like kind of fumbling, and she's like, oh, so what do you do? I'm like, I'm a software salesman. She's like, oh, you must be really good at that. Like, you can obviously talk to people. And like no. And I was like, oh no. But dude, it was funny.
That's cool, bro.
Yeah, she ate me alive.
That's freaking funny.
If I ever come across her, no.
She better hope I don't find her.
Yeah.
You keeping up with the Final Four at all?
Dude,
or like the tournament itself, not the Final Four.
So we could take a look. But okay, so this is Mike. He's from. He was our point guard at Columbia.
Shut up.
I swear, transferred to Michigan and has started there all year. He's about like 5'9".
What?
Yeah.
You know how good you have to be at a sport if you're 5'9" and you.
Right. Which we knew he was good at Columbia, but like we didn't like look at him and think like, okay, this kid shouldn't be here. He should be somewhere else. And so whenever he transferred to Michigan,
dang, he's got a hairline on him too, huh?
Well, yeah, he's trying to bump up his height. Come on. But yeah, man, he's transferred there. He's killed it. He plays like they play 40 minutes. He probably plays like 33 of them. Like, yeah.
Wow.
Balling.
That's awesome, bro. Good for him.
I know.
Good for Mike.
I'm keeping up with Michigan, rooting for them, but we'll see, bro. It's craziness.
Yeah, my brother says it all the time, and I'm like, you know, it's like I agree with him 100%. It's like me and him and basically everybody I know, we all chose the wrong sport in basketball, bro. We should have been baseball players or something, because there's no way, like with our athleticism and our height, there's no way we're going to make it to pro or like even college.
Hindsight's 2020, bro.
True that, bro. True that. But
we should have been playing golf.
Yeah,
honestly.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's any easier, and I'm not diminishing golf either way. Like I have the utmost, like I play golf all the time. Like I love it, but I'm like, man, it would be awesome to play this sport in college.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of athleticism, you don't have to be super athletic to like play golf.
Right. But like I think back to like people like Travis Benson.
Oh,
like he was the one who got me into golf whenever we were in high school. Like me and Travis became friends, and just hanging out with him, because it was like going to a celebrity at a Granbury golf course. Like everyone knew him, they loved him. Travis is of course like on the record boards like everywhere you went. So they loved him. And so he got me into golf, bro. But like I swear, I don't know if I ever saw that man use a putter.
Wow.
Like one day he gave me his putter out of his bag because he didn't use it, which I don't know if that was a flex looking back on it, but like he literally would get the ball so close to the hole, he would just tap it in with his wedge every time. That's insane. Yeah. And so I'm like, dude, the skill he had and everything, and like he found college to be extremely tough. Like he'll be the first one to tell you, like they start 5 golfers in a tournament, and it was tough for him to make that 5 every time, and he got second in the state of Texas twice. Wow. Yeah. It's hard. It's that next level. So I say all that, I'm like, I didn't mean to like diminish golf, like utmost respect, but for us, you know. That's all right, bro. Nobody that golfs listens to this anyway, so they will one day. They're gonna come back and be like, AV and Ryan, they hate golf. I'm like, no, I love golf. So golf's fun. Have you played around here at all? Not a single bit. Not one time. Well, if you ever do go play at Avery Ranch. It's not too far from you. Which that's in Cedar Park. Yeah, exactly. pretty feasible, super nice course. You'd like it, but I don't get to play as much anymore, especially with like the daylight savings time. It's dark at 6:30.
It's weird.
So
I don't like the whole daylight savings thing.
we should not switch times. I don't get that at all.
Me either. It's like
Keep it light longer. Let me play some golf in the afternoon. Make my day longer. Okay. I don't like it to be darker, like we were talking about in New York. Like,
yeah,
need some time after work.
But, oh, dude, what time is it? 9:01. You gotta get home.
Whatever you want to do, dude. I don't care. I'm chilling.
Let's
you
wrap
have more
up.
questions? We're good. If you want to wrap up, let's do it.
Let's wrap it up. Wait,
Okay.
no, I have a question. Okay. You gonna start a podcast or what?
So long. I gotta stop saying long story
Sorry,
short. You gotta. I'm sure like once you've like made a podcast and you listen to yourself back, you hear yourself saying the same things over and over.
Yeah.
But no, dude. Thomas Weaver and I made a podcast with another fellow quarterback from Columbia named Danny Hong, and we made one episode. And long story short, it didn't.
It happens.
It didn't. Like it sounded good. And like I would think that if other people listened to it, it wouldn't sound as bad as we think it sounded like.
Yeah.
But we were kind of trying to make it like a sports podcast. We were focusing on certain topics, and certain subjects would get brought up within topics, and you would bounce around, and then you'd try to come back, and it was just too like all over the place. Maybe that was because like the authors were trying to make sense of it to everyone, and maybe it would sound normal to listeners. I don't know, but we didn't publish it. We didn't put it out there.
Yeah.
So
So the thing is, like, if you have a specific theme or topic, it's honestly better because then you have a certain group of people who are going to listen.
Yeah.
You have a certain audience who you're going to target.
Yep.
And it's just easier in terms of that. But, like, you have to understand that it's like your people, right? Like, you're not robots. You're not going to stick to the same topic. So whenever you go off topic like that, and like, I've done 9 this is my 9th episode. I've now not a pro whatsoever, but that's good. Like when you go off topic on something, it means like you're having a conversation, and like the whole point of this platform, this medium, is for you to be yourself. And you listen to podcasts?
Oh yeah.
So like,
which it's too many football podcasts, so it's not like like just casual culture. I am listening to the new Johnny Manziel podcast, the Ball Don't Lie podcast. So
I didn't even know he had one. That's cool.
he's releasing one, and it's more about life. So hopefully it'll be less about sports, but
yeah. Well, dude, listen. So, like, do you listen to Ryan Suitt?
I know Ryan Suitt from when he worked at ESPN, but I don't listen to his pod.
So this is probably true to all podcasts. I haven't heard the ones you're probably talking about, but the reason you like podcasts is because it's not like radio. They don't have to stick to a script.
Right.
They don't have to be like, oh, and this is the news. Like they don't have to tell the news or anything like that. They're themselves, and you kind of feel like you know them a little bit. That's why like I'm imitating Joe Rogan right now. It's because like I feel like I know him, and I'm like, okay, this is a good person to like.
Yeah.
If I'm going to imitate a podcast, I'm going to do my favorite one. I'm also going to do one that's successful. So like, that's my point. That's why it's very, very similar. The desk just happened to kind of be like the ones we ordered, but.
No, I like the desk, dude.
Thanks, bro.
I like the desk. I like the backdrop. One day you're gonna need to get a much bigger picture.
Dude, I got I'm gonna do some work with that graffiti guy, and we're gonna exchange.
Oh, dude, perfect.
Work for work.
What are you gonna do? Do you know?
I'm gonna make a video for him, and then he's gonna do something for me. I think it's gonna be bigger than that. He was in here, and he was like, "Yeah, bro, you need bigger. You need more."
Yeah.
So I think I want to get a mural of Adam Sandler because he's kind of like a inspiration.
Really?
Yeah.
Big Adam Sandler guy. So what do you think about Uncut Gems?
Haven't seen it.
Really?
Here's the thing. It's because my girlfriend's already seen it, and my roommate hasn't, and so he wants to watch it with me. And every time he's like, "Let's watch it," she's around, and so I'm like, "Dude, she's already seen it." So like, every time that like that happens, it's that same reason. But
yeah.
But anyways, long story short, for me, this is true.
Long story short.
Long story short.
Bunch of short stories today.
So basically what I'm trying to say is that the podcasts you listen to have a lot of the personality of the person you're listening to. They've mastered it over like however many episodes they've done to where it's like, oh, I'm going to put this guy on and it's going to be like I'm just sitting in on a conversation he's having. So like those like tangents are like supposed to happen. You know what I mean? So like I'm saying this to encourage you because I would love to hear you guys' podcast because I don't keep up with sports enough. I'm sure it would help me. And also I love you. I love Thomas and
love you too.
And if you're friends, I'm sure I'd love them too. So
Yeah, dude.
Dude, you have to do it. I'll help you however I can.
Dude, I would, and we might, put it out, and it's probably a lot of us just overthinking and, listening to your own voice and being like, it doesn't sound the way I wanted it to, but we'll see if we keep recording and, put something together, especially whenever football season gets started. And, there is a part of me that wants to pursue like the content side of things at PFF. Like the podcast I listened to pretty much inspired me to go to work at PFF. Not just my like friend that worked there, but they kind of do what I wanted to do. Like they study the draft, and there's 300 good prospects coming out of college, and having gone through that experience, I'm just addicted to figuring out who's gonna work, who's not gonna work, and that kind of thing, and showing I know why, like just the race to like be right, to like have a better understanding of football than the other guy, like be like like an armchair quarterback, an armchair GM, and just play that game whether you're right or wrong. It's so much fun. So that's awesome. Kind of what we want to do. So Danny's like our mediator, and
so it's like you and Thomas going back and forth, and
and it's really not even like that. Like we rotated. It was like I talked, Aaron talked, Danny talked, or Thomas, right? But no, Danny was like, he was going to pose the questions and that kind of thing. So then we just, bounced off the wall and talked about everything. And next thing we know, we're listening back and we're like, what? Like we covered this topic whenever we were supposed to be covering this topic. And it just, it didn't feel and flow like we wanted it to. And so long story short, we didn't post it, but hopefully we put something together, especially like as the season gets closer, or, as the draft gets closer or something. And we'll let it rip, bro.
Yeah, bro. Let it rip. Because the sooner you start, the more like, I mean, obviously, like I personally feel like if your goal is to like get a ton of listeners and make a ton of money doing something, it probably won't work, right? Because you kind of have the wrong motives. So the earlier you start, though, the more opportunity you have for people to kind of get used to you and like, oh, like this is actually pretty, good information. And then when the season rolls around, they're like, okay, I got a good podcast to listen to now that the season is here. Yeah. And so like you kind of preface for that. But dude, that's so cool. I'll legit help however I can. Do you guys do it on Zoom?
Yeah, we've been doing it on Zoom. The first one we just recorded like a cloud recording, right, and saved it and listened to it back, in which we bought like nice mics and light stands and everything, so it looks good, but it's still Zoom quality, if you know what I mean. Like it's gonna be much better in person, which is why I'm glad that we did this entire setup. It was cool. But,
dude, it's so much fun in person.
Yeah, dude, I was hyped up to do it. Like this feels better. Like whenever I first was like, oh my gosh, Aaron wants me to do a podcast. Like, that's crazy. Yeah. And so, but like driving out here, I was like, man, this is going to be cool. Like we get to like ask like questions and people are going to listen in. Like,
yeah, bro.
That's crazy.
It is crazy.
Have you had like any like podcast that like it made it to a different, set of ears than you thought it would? And like they like came and like asked you a question, like any weird reactions out of it yet? Or
no weird reactions, but the first one I did it with the pastor of the church I go to now.
Okay. And which church is that?
It's called Awaken, bro. Okay. And honestly,
where is that?
It's in Round Rock. It's in Round Rock. It's where the stadium is, the baseball stadium. What's it called?
I don't know, but I was looking at going to a Cole Wetzel concert there. So
you did, or are you going to?
No, I was trying to, but it didn't work out.
So like that stadium is like I don't even know what road that is anymore, but like it's like this Dale Diamond.
Yes,
Dale Diamond's here. The church is across the entryway from it. So it's like directly like outside the window of the church, you're seeing Dale Diamond.
Is it big, the church?
No, it's not super big. It's like a church plant kind of thing, and it's started in 2018, kind of officially. But it's awesome, bro. Like the lead pastor he's a super young. He's like 36. That's super awesome. Cool guy, ex-military. Just a really nice guy. Like doesn't seem fake. Doesn't seem like it's just like a good guy. Like attracted to a church because he's like, yeah, like come if you want, but like this is what we're about, and hope to see you there. But if not, then it's okay. Do what you got to do. Yeah. And like it's just everybody loves him, man. It's awesome. And so he was my first guest on the podcast.
Nice.
He actually lives down the road. Like you turn down this road and he's like right there. But a girl reached out from hometown. Actually, I haven't talked to her in a long time, and she was like, and it was like a churchy kind of podcast, like not even honestly a churchy podcast. It just was like a deeper podcast, kind of like about our backgrounds and stuff like that. And she was like, I listened to your podcast on the way to like my Sunday school class and that I was teaching, and I actually used some of the stuff that I learned from the podcast to teach the kids. And I was like,
that's what it's about.
I was like, what?
Wow. That's cool. That's the kind of feedback you need, bro. As soon as you get these episodes out and people like enough people are listening, you get that kind of feedback, you're gonna be that much more excited to get after it.
Yeah, it's so fun, dude. And I'd say like the biggest thing for me was like, because I've been wanting to do this for legit like 4 years. Like I set up my camera in college. Remember Brendan Clough?
Yeah,
that was my roommate in college, like my last 2 years. And I set up a camera in our apartment. I was like, bro, let's do a podcast. And so like I've been wanting to do this forever. And then the way I got started was like, I was like, okay, I have the gear. Now I'm just kind of scared to start. And so like I asked Ben,
and why are you scared? Why? It's like, why are we scared for other people to listen to us?
Exactly. And that's not even, it's just like the first step, because like now I don't care. Like
really, you don't care.
I don't care. Yeah. Like I truly don't care. And so like, cause like at first it's weird, cause like, you're like, oh man, my mom's gonna listen to this. Maybe my family could possibly listen to this. Yeah. And it's like, do I let people cuss? Like, do I like stop people from cussing? But at the end of the day, I want them to be themselves. And so I'm like, I don't care if you cuss, and I'll cuss whenever I feel it's necessary for me to cuss. But it's like, it's cool because people do hear it, and like, it's fun, bro. The first step for me though was getting Ben to agree to do it. I was like, hey, you want to do it on Friday? And he was like, yeah, I'll be there. And I was like, really?
So does he live here?
Yeah.
In Austin or Georgetown?
Ben?
Yeah.
He lives down the road.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so he was like,
nice.
he's like, yeah, I'll do it. And I was like, all right. And he gives like the sermons in front of everybody every week. So
I'm sorry. I was thinking Brendan Clough was.
Oh, no. But yeah, he was on it.
Okay.
Brendan was on it.
Yeah. I saw his. I didn't listen to it, but I saw his post.
Okay. Yeah. But it was just getting that guy to sign up for that first one. And I was like, okay, well, now I got to deliver. Like,
yeah.
Now I have to. I've said it, and it's like, I didn't want to back down from him, so from anybody really. So it's cool, bro. It's like that first step, and now I'm like probably never gonna stop.
So what number is this?
9.
9.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
That was your football number, right?
No, dude. I switched a bunch. I was 10, 12, 5, 2. Switched all over, but dude, that's awesome. I'm honored to be the 9th guest,
dude.
I appreciate it.
I planned it this way. I wanted you to be the 9th guest.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
You're welcome, man.
Hopefully I'll be on it again someday. Again.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. I'd love that. I love you. I'd love that. Dude, you know Zach Olson, by the way?
Of course, yeah.
He'll be on Friday.
Really?
Yeah.
Does he live here?
No, he lives in Lubbock. He's coming down from Lubbock to do it.
He's driving from Lubbock.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
What a... Dude,
He's
that is awesome. So what are you going to do? Are you going to make a weekend out of it or what?
I think his girlfriend... excuse me, she lives in San Antonio, or her family does. Okay. So they're gonna go there. So probably just be here for a night or 2.
Wow. Yeah. That's dedication there, dude.
I got something in my throat.
Dude, take a drink. It's all good. That's sweet though. Do you have like, how far out do you have guests planned? Because you texted me 3 weeks ago or so. All good,
dude. I don't know what's wrong with my throat right now, but
it's COVID.
I'm crying.
The vid.
Have you got COVID yet?
I haven't.
Me either.
No.
Daniel had it. I didn't get it.
So are you gonna do the vaccine?
Maybe.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Maybe. I
don't
know. Like if it's really gonna be a passport, like okay, like I guess I got to. But
yeah,
the fact that like I haven't changed my lifestyle and I haven't got it yet, I'm like, maybe I just have the antibodies, or
yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
Or maybe I'm like, just. But I'm like, why would I take it if I haven't had it through all this? Not that
Not that you can't get it, but like your odds are probably lower.
And anyone listening to this, don't you dare think that I question medicine or anything like that.
He's
like,
an anti-vaxxer.
I'm not one of those people. Yeah, exactly. But I'm like, dang, do I get that shot for no reason, just to have it so I can show someone else that substance is in my body, or what?
I'm going to Hawaii in May, so I'm like, I might need it. Well, actually, no, because I think you're still required to show a negative test. Like, I'm going to have to get tested regardless.
So just went through all that entire process. It was crazy.
Was it?
Yeah. So they're not messing around, bro. They are not kidding. So we had to have a negative test within 72 hours. Mm-hmm. Had that. It literally arrived the morning that we were headed to the airport.
Oh, that's annoying.
Annoying, but also clutch. And so we wake up, bang, buzzer beater, right? And so we get to, they don't care in Dallas or even in Cali whenever we like laid over in LAX, and then got to Maui, and there was this app that you had to register with, and basically you like had this negative test that you registered with, and it has like your location, and it tracks you all throughout Hawaii. Mm-hmm.
What the hell?
So basically, if anyone during your trip was to say I got COVID and you've been in contact with them, and the app determines if you've been in contact with them, like based on geographic location, then you have to quarantine for 10 days. Yeah. And if you don't, you know, and you get pulled over or something, you would just get a ticket, or, you know, I don't even know what they would do, honestly. But it's like they were tracking it like that. Like everywhere we went into, like even restaurants, sometimes I'd just show my negative test. Like,
whoa.
Yeah, they're not kidding there at all. And it's more of just like it's cool because it's like you're on an island experience, right?
Yeah.
And they're just like protecting their island, they're protecting their home, and so you're just like,
oh, that is cool.
You know what I mean? So it's not like you
can't be mad about it.
It's not like it's not like a feel here whenever someone's, you know, brings up COVID and you're like, you know, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But, you know, or, you know, however you want to react about it, but
it's not like a political thing. It's like,
exactly. It's not political. That's a great way to put it. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's not political. It's, you know, we're home and we're not trying to infect our own, and there's a lot of people traveling here, so we need to be safe.
Yeah. That's
like,
cool.
You're like, okay, like I'll put on a mask and do all that for Hawaii any day, you know? Like, let's protect this beautiful place. So.
Yeah. Did you go to Pearl Harbor? Have you ever seen that?
Mm-mm. Yeah. So didn't go to Pearl Harbor. We were in Maui this time, so.
Oh, that's right.
Weren't there. Definitely want to go there, but are you going to go?
Yeah, we'll be going.
Nice. Do you have anything else you're going to do there?
We're going to do a luau. Did you get to do a luau?
So we like saw one, but we like weren't a part of it. But
you were watching.
Yeah, we're just like, you know, observing what's going on there. It looked like a total blast, honestly, but we had a day, bro. So we didn't stick around for the luau, but great time.
They're pretty expensive, but
really, a luau is expensive.
I'm pretty sure they're like $180, $160.
Well, dude, I got a lei one time, and that was like $60. So if you get a lei and everything, that's probably half the cost. You know, then you get food and all that.
Sacred flowers, yeah.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Yeah, luau. They want to go snorkeling. I'm like not a boat person, so like if you travel on a boat, I'm not going.
Okay. I went hiking. Scuba diving there.
How was that?
Incredible.
Yeah.
So like Maui's like home for all of the whales during this time. They're like giving birth. Like they migrate from Alaska down to Maui to give birth because it's like the safest place to do so. And it's warmer waters, obviously. And so we were like underwater, and we drove out to this island, and it was like this 300-foot cliff that basically fell down. And 300 foot, it's like honestly shallow for the ocean, like that I've learned. So
that's scary.
But dude, it's very scary. So like you go down, and it's okay, I say very scary. Like the thought of going down 300 feet is scary, but scuba diving itself wasn't that scary.
Oh.
So like you're like 70 feet underwater, Jeez. But like you don't, like you can see everything around you. Like you don't, that's weird. You don't feel like you're like
super deep.
Yeah. And so like we're just like chasing this wall, like looking at everything like on the wall, and like you could hear whales. That's why I was bringing up the whales. You can hear whales under the water singing. Like loud. Like very, very, very loud. Like they were like within a mile away from us. Like if we went up to the boat, like you could see them and stuff. Like saw manta rays, like eels, like shout out Steve Urban, right? You know,
yeah,
manta rays, but yeah, dude, it was awesome.
That's super so sick. Cool.
If you can ever get over is it boat sickness, or you don't want
it's
like
boat sickness? Okay. Yeah, heavy boat sickness, bro. Like
Marley's the same way.
Really, and she did it.
Yeah, but like she'll sell out for any adventure that she can be a part of. So it was kind of like the excitement for the adventure overrode like you weren't on a boat for very long, so it wasn't bad, but
cool.
It was sick, man.
That's good to know. Yeah, it's good to know.
But dude, you should definitely snorkel.
We'll snorkel, or probably not scuba dive, but
yeah,
we'll snorkel, and then I don't know what else. Probably just go sightseeing, restaurants, and
just being in Hawaii is you just feel good.
We'll be there for a week, so.
Oh, dude, yeah. You're going to be more tan. You're going to come back. You're going to talk slower. Life's going to slow down for a little bit. And you're going to be like, all right, like now I get like where I'm supposed to be, right?
Yeah.
It's an awesome feeling.
That's cool, bro.
So.
Do you have I'm going to wrap it up, bro. We've been here for a while, and it's already 9:20.
Yeah, let's do it.
Do you have anything like notable worth sharing to the world? Everybody's going to hear this. Anything like you want people to know?
Bro,
like
we've already talked so much.
How about this? Shout out to Ryan Suitt. Congratulations on getting engaged.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. Appreciate that.
That's awesome. Do you know when we can expect a wedding, or is that just kind of like a foreseeable future?
It's so getting through planning the engagement, making all that happen, and then now we're trying to make the move to Oakland. So, and that's just for 12 weeks, right? Just temporary, but it's just a lot's gone into it, trying to get our house ready to rent out and trying to figure out the whole, situation there. And so that's kind of taken over our time for the time being in terms of planning. And so hopefully we'll get out there and we'll obviously have more time together as we're in Oakland. And so we'll probably sit down and try to figure out while we're out there. But nah, man, we're going to take it slow. That was actually the first thing that we cheers to, was like, all right, like we're not talking about this for at least 2 weeks. And I think now it's closing 4. So we put it off even longer than we wanted to. So,
well, that's good. That's smart, I think.
Yeah, man, we're not in a rush. It's okay.
Yeah, I like that better than like people thinking that they have to get engaged and then get married like the same year, because it's like you're engaged. It's like neither party's going anywhere. It's like at that point you're locked in. So it's like, why rush that? Just relax, and it'll come when it comes.
We're gonna let it come. We're gonna try to be smart about it. We're thinking about doing it in Hawaii, thinking about doing it in Austin. So we'll see, where it takes place and how it shakes out. But got a lot of planning to do, got a lot to look forward to, and it's exciting, man.
That's awesome, bro.
Yeah.
Well, congrats on that, man. Appreciate you coming, man. I really do appreciate it.
No, thank you for having me.
It's a good talk, man.
I guess let's go.
I feel like I haven't talked to you forever, so this is awesome.
Yeah, man. Great to catch up.
Yes, sir. All right, man. Well, thanks, man.
Of course. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Till next time.
Joe Rogan Podcast. We out.